Today's all about learning about these things. Bottom to top, cutting edge to spine. What's up guys, Dan here, Coalcracker, Bushcraft. Today we are going to be talking about knives, and we're going to be talking about the progression of cutting. Now you might have never heard that term, but what that means is I'm going to talk you through my mindset and my teaching methods of taking someone from baseline zero that they've never handled knives in the outdoor type environment to understanding how to properly utilize this from grip to different cutting areas on the knife. Now what I have found with this progression that I'm going to walk through is that it may take some individuals a day, it may take some individuals a month, maybe some even years. And we're going to use my child as an example. I started him off very young with a knife, and we started with, like, I'm going to say progression 1, which you're going to see here in a little bit, and we are just now, probably 2.5 years later, moving into like the second progression, and that's absolutely fine. But he has like a good base, and he understands what to do with the knife, and he has been very safe with them, and it's going well so far. Now we're taking that individual baseline zero. They have no idea. Even if they use kitchen knives at home, we're going to tell them when they come out that, hey, this is brand new. Just absorb every little bit that I tell you, and we'll get you on page really nice and quick, and they'll understand everything from heavy duty cutting and chopping all the way down to fine carving. So the first thing that you might be thinking is, what kind of knife should they get, or what kind of knife should you supply them with? Two categories. We have our fixed and our folding knives. Both knives during this progression will work absolutely fine, because it's going to teach the individual the proper way to hold them, and you're not going to hopefully have mistakes if you supervise them correctly. But if you had to pick one of the two, I generally lean towards the fixed blade knife. So the fixed blade knife is what it is. It is, once gripped, it is just there, okay? Nothing else is really going to happen with this. On the other side, we have our folding knives. So once the folding knife is gripped, it is generally what it is, unless it's not a locking blade. Then you have the possibility that the blade can shut down and cut across your fingers. The other part of a fixed blade knife is the opening and closing procedure of that knife. Sometimes with younger kids, they have a very hard time with their dexterity and strength to be able to actually pinch some of those pocket knives, pull them open them up correctly, and then actually close them, because there's a lot of different moving parts. Especially with lockers, you got to first break that and then close that and do all that good stuff. So they have a hard time during that process, and there's a good chance this can snap down on their fingers and cut them. Okay, so progression 1 is going to be grip and general angle of the blade. Now what that means is I like to start everybody off with a fist grip. So think of, you're making a fist, you're gonna punch somebody in the teeth, but now we just insert our knife in there. So no thumbs sneaking up, no index fingers sneaking up, literally just a full fist grip. What this provides, number 1, is a lot of power for the individual, and number 2, when they do switch over to a folding knife, it's going to eliminate the fact that they're pushing on here and possibly closing this down on their fingers. So no thumb up, no finger up, just a full fist grip. Now because we're starting with the basics, we are going to just start with normal cutting. We're not going to worry where they cut on the blade. They can cut with the tip, they can cut with the back, wherever they're most comfortable. We're just really worried about them finding the angle. So in a good safe cutting position, we're going to want to make sure that they are driving the knife away from them, and they are starting to find that angle, and we're going to teach them how to just point sticks, how to round sticks. Okay, that will get you through, especially with a beginner, a whole ton of stuff. Not only can they make traps like Rambo, but they can also make hot dog and marshmallow sticks. They can make tent pegs, all of that good stuff very easily with just those two skills, and all that they're focused on is fist grip and correct blade angle. So once we can point sticks and round sticks, we really need to teach individuals how to cut sticks, because they're not always going to find the perfect little stick. So they're going to find longer sticks, or they're going to find saplings, and there's different techniques for that, but they're all going to require more force power with the knife. Now the next progression is going to be our power cuts. Our power cuts are going to follow fist grip. And now we are going to start to teach parts of the blade. So with power cuts, we know that once we are holding our knife, if you push really, really hard here on the knife, I can control you. If you push out here, you can control me. We lose all of our power. So we're going to teach the individual to utilize this bottom 1-inch portion of the blade with a fist grip. Now, a couple things with power cuts to actually utilize on sticks. We're thinking about cutting saplings. We're thinking about cutting sticks to length, all of those different things. So for cutting sticks to length, we're in that same position that we were originally having them cut points and rounded sections, except now they're going to drive in and they're just going to rotate the stick using that bottom portion of the blade, because that's where they can generate the most power. And then they can start to cut sticks to length. They can also bend saplings over and cut it. Some other power cuts would include reversing the grip, still using a fist grip, and using a chest lever like this, that we're utilizing our back strength rather than our hand and arm strength. Another option too is to place our knife against our knee and drive back this way. Again, full fist grip, and we are focusing on the lower part of the blade. At this point now, they're going to have a good understanding of what the grip should feel like for finer carving, which was our points, and they're going to understand what the grip feels like when they add more power and what part of the blade to use for that. Now, the third progression would be to start to make finer cuts. At this point, the beginning of this, I still like individuals to use that fist grip. You see, I'm hung on this fist grip. As soon as we start moving that thumb up, it changes the dynamic of the blade itself. We can still do a lot of things, and we still haven't learned the whole knife yet. So what we're going to do during this phase now is we still using a fist grip, but now we are utilizing not only the bottom portion for the beginning of cuts, but we're going to end our cuts with the tip. So I want you to think about something like a shaving. So they're using a full fist grip. We're starting with the bottom edge, and we are running our knife up to the tip. So that's going to allow them to make rough shavings and start to make curls also. And this is a great thing because now they can start to produce tinder for fire and shave sticks down in a different manner. So again, full fist grip, utilizing the whole entire blade. And in the last progression, now I'm going to blow your mind, we can get away from that fist grip if they want to. If they don't want to, they don't have to. But now what we are going to do is we are going to allow them to use their finger or their thumb higher up on the back spine of the blade, and they are going to use just the tip of the knife with a second hand to make our small notches and carvings. This can be square notches, V notches, saddle notches, a whole bunch of different stuff that you can work through on them. So I know a little bit technical today, but this is where we start to break all these skills down that we use all the time and actually be able to implement them with other people to make them successful in the outdoors. So I want you to give this one a try. Lots of tools for the toolbox here. If you're a teacher, if you are an instructor, if you are maybe just on your own, there might be some things you can glean out of this and go out and experiment with and try, and then you can tweak it and develop your own little style around it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, click the link below. You can also check us out over at coalcrackerbushcraft.com for our classes and our merchandise and our blog and all that good stuff. And until the next video, get the flies out of my face and you guys stay in the woods.